Ableton Live, which is the software that I use for live. And yeah, basically I got a bunch of tricks and things in there that I sort of like triggered during our sets and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's cool. Yeah.
And like, what are like your favorite sounds to use at the moment? Like, obviously you got different kind of
Sounds,
clicks or like rhythms or whatever it is. What are you into at the moment?
Right now, I would say, because it's something that we're still kind of like trying to experiment with. We have an effects mic, which basically just allows us to do different pitches in terms of the vocal as we're doing the set. So.
And just now, for my curiosity, how does that respond? This pitch mic, like, does it
Changes.
Is it the vibration?
I mean, you basically can make your pitch go very high or very low.
But that's cheating. That's cheating, yo. It's cheating. It's cheating. It's like getting plastic surgery or something and being like, oh, I'm fabulous. No, I'm kidding with you. Wicked, man. And how did you get involved with the boys?
These boys?
Yeah.
Well, I got involved with him first.
Yeah.
Because
they're such a cute couple.
Such a cute couple, exactly.
Not on film. We're in Cape Town, why not? Yeah.
He used to just come to my crib to just listen to some of the beats I make and stuff.
Samples, yeah.
So that's how we kind of like knew each other. We actually knew each other from tech. And we're still studying. Yeah. That was a long time ago.
Then we definitely have to speak, because you got all like the dirty history and like walking down deep, like prior and pre to
It sounds so nasty.
No, I don't know, is it? What's it called? But like, what's your process generally when you're trying to create new sounds? Do you like to sort of lock yourself up and just, I mean, what sort of things do you experiment with?
Yeah, I do enjoy my space, like when I'm creating and stuff, but there's really no particular sort of like way that I start. Sometimes I'm just inspired by just one particular sound, and it just triggers something else. Sometimes I just sit in front of my MIDI controller, just play a couple of chords and stuff, and then something comes up. Start recording.
And as far as some of the keys and stuff and like pop models, like what inspired a lot of those sounds? Sure.
Pop models.
I can tell you.
Yeah, he can tell.
Yeah, you tell me.
Let him tell the story. Yeah.
It was actually it was inspired by a track by Osunlade.
Yeah.
Is it Osunlade or Osunlade? How do you pronounce it?
Osunlade.
Yeah.
Osunlade.
What's the track called? Musulu. It was actually a track that he remixed for
Soulfaktor, yeah.
And he heard the bass line and went nuts.
Yeah.
That's how
it pretty much inspired
the creation.
The creation of the track that I had, because I just felt like, man, it's often enough like when people create music, they start off with melodies and all that. But the one driving thing with this particular track was the bass line. And I felt like
that bass line is sick. I got it.
And it kind of helped that bass lines they come easy to me and stuff. So very easy. Yeah. Since my grandfather was a bassist.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Was he a proper musician? Like, did he work as a musician, or
did
he just love music?
More like playing a band.
Oh my heart! Which band?
No, it was way just like long time ago.
No, I know, but I want to know.
It wasn't any popular band.
It doesn't matter. What kind of sound was it?
All 50 sounds, because that was back then. It was like in the 60s. This was in the 60s.
No, but cool. I want to know, because I want to reference.
They didn't actually even have much of a
terminology for it
or anything. Like they were just like
jamming.
Township band. That was just jamming and stuff. Yeah. And then later on, then he gave up the music to pick up religion.
Yeah. And like also I want to know, because I was saying to Keith the other day, well I texted him really quickly, but a lot of the angle that I also want to bring in, besides of course like Big Fucking Gun and their arrival and their riots and all that sort of thing, sorry I'm just chatting a bit because I get classic, is, you know, like looking into things like when, you know, hip hop and when it started and so on and so forth. Like obviously a lot of jazz and stuff is derived from rock and roll and vice versa, and then obviously like kids growing up in the Bronx or whatever didn't have like enough equipment to actually, you know, play music or whatever, so a lot of their like samples and shit come from all jazz and records and soul records and so on and so forth, as you know already. And so like of course hip hop came to South Africa, and you know people love hip hop here. I mean it's pretty sick. But do you think there's still that search, like in any pop culture, where there's almost like a level so far and a stagnancy, like a genre or whatever can go, and then people start trying to find their own identity through it? And do you think that's sort of happening with people like Big Fucking Gun and you know, Squad and all that sort of thing, and those different sounds?
Yeah, we're definitely on some kind of journey.
Yeah.
It is a musical one, and for me, like personally, as someone who's creating music, it's exactly as you're putting it. Like I know everything has been done, but it's just that I would say. Firstly, I love music. Period.
Yeah.
I'm influenced by everything.
Yeah.
And with that said, pretty much most of what I create comes from everywhere. Like literally, it comes from everywhere. But I think since Big Fucking Gun kind of like came into the picture, I kind of ended up kind of like started looking into more traditional music, South Africa and stuff, and how I can take that into the future and stuff.
Exactly.
Because I feel like there's a part of it which the world still needs to kind of like
absolutely, because I mean that's what the world's
with,
actually waiting for, is that something new, or something new to them, something to inspire them, you know. But like even
one
soul
is,
with the Zulu rapping and stuff, it's sick. I mean, it wouldn't be the same sound if it wasn't in Zulu. It would not be
you
the
know
same
what?
sound.
You know what's funny
you heard
about
that, so
I didn't even understand.
Check this out though. We were talking yesterday. Saul wasn't there. We were talking. We were saying that there's a lot of people who rap in Zulu. A lot in this country, right? But the differentiator is that with Saul, he's not just rapping in Zulu. It's almost like he's taking Zulu to that ancient future. Right?
Yeah.
Whereas in most contexts, when people rap in Zulu, it's almost about, these are the punchlines I've got. I'm gonna hit you with so many punchlines. I'm gonna make you.
Because most of it
it doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But with Saul, it's like
deeper than it.
you can't place it anywhere else. But where it is right now, it's like.
But that's because it all makes
crazy,
sense. Yeah.
So that for me, and I said to Soulfaktor, I said that is the differentiator.
Yeah.
That is the differentiator. It's not just rap.
Oh, totally.
It's like on another level altogether.
Yeah. But it's like,
and I don't know if Saul knows, but this is my interpretation.
You can stay. You can stay.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
Yeah, we talk about Saul a lot.
Was Saul shy when he was a kid?
But that's only because we really admire what he does.
Like, came out of his shell when he was older.
Who? Saul?
Saul.
Is he shy?
Were you shy when you were a kid? And then
I think I'm still
later,
shy.
I'm a shy guy.
Shy guy. Shy guy.
Yeah. I'm the cheesy shy guy frontman.
Oh, yeah, right, dude. I'll be shy.
Julio's.
There's another option like